Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Skullgirls Oceanic podcast. Where this is the first time where I'm putting this recording up on the official Skullgirls Oceanic YouTube channel as well as my own channel. So, if you've never listened to one of these before, I get one of the figureheads of the community and talk to them about a bunch of random stuff about Skullgirls, but namely where they started and like where they are in the scene currently. What do they think of everything else going on? And what did they think of the scene going forward? So, without any further ado, let me introduce my guest for this evening, QF JediLink. How you doing, my good sir?
I'm doing alright, man.
For people who don't know,
Oh, fine.
we like redid this recording because of technical difficulties, but should be all right now.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
okay, let's cross our fingers. I don't know. I feel like there is definitely potential that my mic will be screwy, because this mic is extremely old. So let's
Is
hope
it
that
older
doesn't
than
happen.
Squiggly? Let's start there.
Well, okay, Squiggly is technically 28. I don't think the microphone is older than 28, so no.
Damn. Well, good to know. So, without any further ado, I suppose let's just start with the beginning. Where does your Skullgirls career start?
Okay, so I bought the game on PS3 the week it came out, because at the time I was a Marvel 3 player. Was getting a lot of buzz, and it was like the new hotness. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll play this game. So I bought it. I played it a little bit. My initial team was like Valentine Parasol. That was my team. I ended up not really playing it that much back then for a few reasons. Like, the version of the game was, it had some problems. Like, it launched very unfinished. Like, didn't have like command lists, for example. That's one thing I remember. Like play online. I didn't know about like oceanic planners at the time. I played against one guy from Europe, a man named Issa Volps,
Oh, you played Isa
and
from your your Australian connection.
it was the worst online match I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, I can imagine the. Oh, jeez, I went to the
It
wrong
ran
thing.
at about 2 frames per second. Launch version of the netcode was worse than it is now, so that kind of thing happened.
Yeah. People who don't know,
But
Isa was a pretty big part of the European community. I don't know what he's doing right now. I used to be part of the. I used to talk to EU people like back in the day, or rather, maybe not back in the day, as in like a year ago. But I stopped doing that because I was lazy. So I don't know what he's doing. I think he's playing chess at this point or something. But good for him.
yeah, that was my one attempt to play online.
Right.
Uh, the other thing is that I found the game quite difficult to play on pad because I didn't own a stick at the time yet. With like assists being it's like being on the right stick, that wasn't sort of added until like the first patch, like slightly different edition or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
um, like I was coming from Marvel 3, right, which is a full button game, 2 assists, which is like very simple to play on pad. And where suddenly I've got like some kicks and some punches like spread across the face buttons and shoulder buttons, and I had to like press things like at the same time. Level 3 to do a super, like you just press 2 buttons. I had a macro, I had like a PP macro, so that made things easy. But in Skullgirls, if I wanted to do like 2 kicks, actually press 2 buttons or press a shoulder button and a face button. I did not like that. I got a stick shortly after, but that was after I had stopped playing already. So yeah, I didn't really play that much when the game came out. I did sort of follow the Indiegogo campaign from a distance. I sort of just observed it. I didn't like put any money in or anything. Um, I downloaded Squiggly when she came out. I didn't download any of the other DLC characters because they were free, like the first month or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I downloaded her and I just played her in like training mode. And I think I did a story and then I came again until it would have been like my other fighting game background and whatnot.
Oh, what was that? Sorry, you cut out.
Sorry, I said, should I go into like my other fighting game background
Oh
in
yeah, sure,
sort of
dude.
like to fill in the time that's of what's happened since then?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I started playing Melee
I thought you were talking
in.
about fighting games.
I don't know if you were asking like specifically just about
I was memeing.
Skullgirls.
I was making the melee fighting game joke. Whatever, dude.
Completely went over my head. Nice. Anyway,
Got him.
so okay, so I started playing Melee in 2014. A bit over. Well, it's now close to like 4 years ago. Even how about that? So played Melee for 3 years. Good game. But, like all the time while I was playing Melee, even though I liked it a lot, I sort of wanted something that I could play online. In like other games a little bit. I still played like Marvel 3 extremely occasionally. Started getting into Street Fighter. I started playing Street Fighter 4. I played Street Fighter 4 like quite a bit. I don't know how many hours it would have been. Like at least. Let me check real quick right now. Actually, Street Fighter 4. Where are you at?
People who know me know that I have a very opinionated standpoint on Street Fighter 4, which I will not go into because I support every game being equally loved.
My time playing Street Fighter 4 is 264 hours, which is like a little bit, but not that much, I suppose.
Yeah, I think for me it was 480 or something. I don't know. I don't remember. Which a lot of it was actually like just offline because I was just training moding a bunch, which was interesting. Played the game for a year. That is what it is.
I played like Street Fighter 4 right up until Street Fighter 5 came out. I played Street Fighter 5 and I like immediately did not like it as much as 4, and I didn't end up playing Street Fighter 5 that much. Sort of just went back to Melee a little bit. I didn't really try to play anything else until I also had like some brief stint where I played Smash 4. That's whatever.
Oh god.
Till it was I was in the Discord. I was reading the Traditional Fighters channel. This was in January of last year, so about 1 year ago.
Oh, this is Australian Smash, huh?
Yeah, Australian Smash
Oh yeah.
Discord. I was in there's a channel there called Traditional Fighters where they talk about other fighting games for some reason. And Tomo, he like sort of talks in there from time to time.
Yeah.
I don't remember the context of what happened with being like they started talking about Skullgirls, then I like mentioned something about Skullgirls, and then Tommy was like, "Oh, hey, you know that Skullgirls is actually not dead in Australia or in Oceania," and I was like, "Oh, hey, really?" Here's a link to the Discord. So I clicked that link. I joined the Discord, and I sort of like, "Hey, I heard this game's not dead," and the people were like, "Yeah, we play and we have tournaments on Fridays." So I'm like, "Okay, that's pretty cool." I was like, okay, I can't really like promise that I'm gonna actually play the game, but maybe I'll give it a little try, see what happens. I think like when I first joined the Discord and I started talking to people, Shuffle asked to play me, or someone asked to play me. I think I played with Shuffle. Like
This is
after
back when
having
Shuffle
not
played. Those days are over.
This is after having like not played the game, since 2012 pretty much. So I obviously didn't know any combos or anything. I was just kind of I think I was playing like solo Parasol. I was just doing, tiers or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doing his shit, and I was like, okay, sweet. Just thought, okay, maybe I'll start learning some combos. The Squiggly, because I love Squiggly, obviously.
Jesus Christ.
My very first team, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but I was trying to figure out who I wanted to play with Squiggly, and I knew that, okay, the Squiggly needs a DP assist, right? So I thought, okay, I'll try Squiggly Filia. People don't remember this. Like, I did play Philia for like 1 week.
I remember.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember playing Ophelia and be like, I don't know what this kid's doing, but you know, he can do what he do.
Okay, so yeah, my first team was Squiggly Philia. Then like I started sort of watching vids on YouTube of American tournaments. Watch like Combo Breaker, and I was watching Liam play Parasol, and then that's when I thought, hey, maybe I'll try Parasol. So I started playing Squiggly Parasol, and I ended up playing Squiggly Parasol for a little while. And I managed to take a tournament set off a certain unnamed individual
Yeah, we'll not
while
talk
playing
about it.
Squiggly Parasol. Yeah, that's not important. Like, we don't need to talk about it.
Yeah. Goddamn right.
I haven't done that. Okay, so I was playing Squiggly Parasol. I don't remember when it was. It would have been like maybe around April. Sort of Age came back into the scene, and I didn't know who he was or like if he had. I didn't know about his history of the scene or anything about that. I only learned about it afterwards. But he was like. I should probably mention is that at the time I was unemployed, so I was pretty much able to grind like all day, which is good. So, and Age was like back at that time, he was like asking people to play like all the time, like every day. So I played with him a lot, and he was playing Bella, or rather, it was Bella Band Peacock, and he was using Beat Extend, and with Squiggly Parasol, and I thought at the time that like. Every time I got fucking scooped by Beat Extend, and it would like hit both my characters. Fuck is this piece of shit game? This is. People say this is balanced. This isn't balanced. And meanwhile, I just had like shitty Pillar, which is like. Man, this game's fucking stupid. I'm not playing this anymore.
Yeah, I
And I
remember
was like,
the Jedi complaints about Beat Extend, and I was like, you poor soul.
I started thinking, okay, I have to switch to Big Band or I have to quit. Like, there is no other option. It's got to be. If I don't use Beat Extend as well, I will never enjoy this game. I'll always be too mad. So I decided, okay, I might as well give it a little shot. I'll try playing Squiggly Big Band. And yeah, I've played Squiggly Big Band ever since. My history. Well, I mean, I could sort of elaborate more on.
No, yeah, like go
Rise.
ahead. Like you got the floor to yourself.
I mean,
You can talk about
okay.
your rise to prominence. You know,
So
you got plenty of time to flex.
the first person I beat was unnamed individual.
Yeah.
After that, the next person I beat was Mao.
This was
He's
with
sort
Beat
of-
Extend, right?
No, this was after I switched to band. I beat Mao the first time.
Yeah, yeah. What the? Yo, you cut. What the hell? Did somebody's internet drop? Goddamn. I hate internet.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I might have knocked my mic or something.
Nice.
Or like knocked the cord. That's not reassuring. So what was the last thing that I said?
You were talking about beating Mao, and I was like, with band, and you were like, yeah, and I was like, yep.
Band. This is back when my big band was like really shit. I was just like spamming H brass. and sandbagged against me a little bit. He was like trying to parry shit. And it sort of was like it was a funny clip that I don't know if you remember of like we both sort of SSJ'd each other at the same time somehow. And I still don't
No.
understand the mechanic of which one wins.
I still don't get it, dude. I've been playing this game like I don't know how many years at this point. I still don't get it. I just think it's random. Although
The
with the
next,
new P2 whatever thingy, that might have something to do with it. But even then, I just don't care. I just don't care to know anymore. I was like, all right.
and the next person I beat after that was Shuffle. And then after that, I don't really remember what happened. I guess I must have beaten Age at some point after. Prominent thing that happened, I don't know if prominent is the right word, but noteworthy thing was I started working on my squiggly guide. And in hindsight, I kind of regret making it like so early into my Skullgirls career. June or July or something, which was only like half a year after having been playing. And I sort of like, I'm already kind of ashamed of it. I know there's like a lot of stuff I'd like to change about it. But I think making that guide sort of, it like helped me understand the character a lot more.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of forced me to sort of to myself about certain things and make sure that I was like completely sure about what I was talking about. You know what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. It's like when you have to teach, you have to understand the subject good enough to teach it or whatever, something like that. Also, your mic is doing the thing again.
oh, what? Oh, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's fine now.
This might just be a recurring problem. I don't know.
It's all good. I mean, if it's not, if it most of the time I can just tell what you're talking about. But if there's something that's drastic, I'll just tell you to repeat the sentence or
Okay.
something. But
At the
yeah, I was just
time,
saying, yeah.
I think at the time when I like released the Squiggly Guide, I was sort of considered like a decent player. Like I could beat other people. Then I don't know. Like I guess over time, I just started beating people more frequently, using less, and it just like progressively continued from there.
Yeah, pretty much that's what happened.
And that's kind of it. That brings us up to the present, I guess. OCE, baby.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You didn't play me.
It's just I'm just memeing.
Yeah, I know, I know. I mean, I'm memeing too. I don't care.
I mean, I'm not comfortable with having that title as long as CM is still alive and in this country, even though he doesn't play. Just because I know he's like a lot better than me.
Yeah, I feel the same. But yeah, that's pretty much the
It's my
main.
life story.
Yeah, your Skullgirls life story, I guess. I don't know. But I guess that kind of clears that up. One thing I did want to talk about in regards to your past was your relatively quick rise as far as everybody else goes, because everybody else had been playing for at least 2 to 3 years with me anyway. But like I played for 2 to 3 years. Maud played for a little bit longer. Age has been playing since the beginning, and I think at this point us four would basically be considered top four again. Without CM and everything. Like anytime I say top
Yeah.
four or whatever, I'll just ignore CM because can't count him anymore for inactivity. But like
So sorry, who was your top four again? Was it like me, you,
me, you,
Mal,
Mal, and
and
Edge.
yeah? Okay, that sounds about right. Because
Yeah.
obviously Shuffle doesn't play RIP.
I think Shuffle even then would be fifth. I wouldn't count him because of his results when he was active.
Definitely.
Well, he can shut me up whenever.
Hey, Shuffle, if you're watching this, you can come play with us.
Yeah, it's we host tournaments every Friday.
Yeah, boy.
But anyway, the point I was trying to make was, out of us four, you were the one that like climbed up the ranks the fastest, and I wanted to kind of expand on that and kind of try to understand why, like, what was your not necessarily training regime, but like how did you like what were the things you were doing along your kind of rise or like your training sessions? I don't know what to call it. That kind of that you believe at the very least led you to get as get as good as quickly as you did.
Yes. Okay, so I have to say that I never expected as I did this fast. This is kind of like I've like played other games, like I played Street Fighter, I played Melee, but I was like never really that good at them. I was sort of like ranked in Queensland at Melee for a little bit, and I made top 32 at OHN last year, so I guess that's like considered decent. But I really didn't think I was good. I was like, because I knew in my heart that I like was really dumb, because all I did was just fucking F tilt and down smash and dash attack.
I mean, you're playing Sheik in Australia.
Like
I don't know what to tell you.
that's exactly right. I just did noob chic stuff, and I won somehow.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Same with like Street Fighter. I just fucking mash DP and shit, you know. So
Yeah.
I was like, I've never been like a smart player who's like good like some things, but I think though that like every new game I've learned, gone better at it. So like
Like you cut out like what I think what you're trying to say was you've gotten better at learning the more games you've learned, I guess.
it's that like the more games I've like gone through, the more sort of pick up the game better, I guess.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Like when I played Marvel 3, I was like extremely dumb, and I did not have like any kind of sort of mentality for improvement whatsoever. All I did was like camped and just fish for a confirm. You know, just like run away, Buster.
Are you playing Zero? Or you're the worst, dude. God damn it.
I'm actually a Mega Man fan. I don't know if you know that. So
Oh,
that's
you
like why I was.
did you play Zero X in Marvel Infinite? When or I guess I
I
don't know if
don't.
you played Infinite.
I do not own Marvel Infinite. I've never played it.
Oh, okay. All feels bad.
If I was going to play it, that is what I was going to be. I probably would try to play Zero X. Although X is apparently not very good, so which obviously I expected.
Yeah.
I'd probably end up playing like Zero Dante or something, just because you know. Pick a top
Zero's
tier.
never been bad in any game he's been in, so you know it is what
No,
it
no,
is.
Zero is fucking cheap.
Yeah. But yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, okay. So I was like really done with Marvel 3. When I started playing Melee, I sort of like tried to learn it a bit more seriously, and I actually practiced at home and you know grinded my ledge dashes and watched you know top player matches and that kind of stuff, which I never really done. I didn't really do that, and I'm still like extremely dumb at the game. You know, like I said, I just F tilt down smash. That was basically what playing me was like. Although one thing that is that apparently my edge guarding is like unusually good compared to how dumb the rest of my game is. It's like I just you know watched Muta King and I tried to just like copy the stuff that he did, and I sort of was kind of successful with it. So like people have said about me that like even though I'm really bad, you know I can still kill you when you're off stage. So that's sort of like that was like my one redeeming factor was that my edge guarding was okay.
Right.
But obviously when I like played floaties, it was all downhill.
Yeah, feels bad.
Then I started playing Street Fighter. Once I started playing Street Fighter 4, I think that was like the first time I sort of really understand fighting game fundamentals to some level. Because like when I played Melee is like I don't think it's really a fundamental game at all. And you can apply fundamentals to it, but you also can completely not apply fundamentals to it.
Yeah, you can play like Fox and just just
Yeah.
nair all over them and blip all over them and do garbage, and you'll beat
Street Fighter,
a bunch of people.
that's when I started to actually understand, like, oh, hey, mind games and spacing and pressure are a thing that exists. And, you know, stuff like conditioning someone to block and then grabbing them. That was something that I like never even thought to do in Melee. And even still, even now that I do understand it, I find it's difficult to condition people to block in Melee. I don't know how to do it. I feel like the problem is that I still like Melee and I don't really play it much anymore, but I feel like I'm sort of my knowledge and plan and whatnot is all too developed already. And I wish I could just like start from scratch. And I think if I could like start from scratch in Melee, a lot better at it than I am now. But it's just not. I'm probably not going to be possible, unfortunately.
Understandable.
The next game I played after that was Smash 4. Got really good in Smash 4 really quickly. Oh, not really good. I got like okay. I actually beat a sort of well-known-ish player, the best of 3.
You gonna drop names?
I was like, yeah, I guess so. Kurogane Hammer.
Oh, that guy, dude. That guy.
You may know.
I think he puts out like everything about Smash 4, like tech-based, right?
No,
like
he's like a major Smash 4 scientist. He runs the Frame Data website. He knows like a lot about everything. But you know, he's more of a scientist. He's not necessarily like a big major competitor, but he is still like sort of a known guy. But I did beat him in tournament once.
Nice.
That was like I was playing Corrin. That was like right when Corrin came out.
So you were the side B master.
Yeah, dude, I was the side B. That's what it's about. That was obviously back when Corrin, when like she first came out, and how to deal with stuff yet.
Yeah.
So I managed to sort of cheese a set off him.
Yeah, I remember the first time I played Smash 4 in bracket was it was at a tournament that I was running, and I was supposed to be part of the Smash 4 bracket because I had to fill in numbers. I was running the FTC brackets, and people were like, just put in your name for Smash 4. I was like, alright, whatever. And then I actually had to play my bracket, and I played against a Corrin for the first time. I played Puff because, I didn't know any better. And I see side B, and I see this really laggy move. It's like she's stuck doing the side B. I'm like, this move's garbage. And then I get hit by it. I'm like, you know what? All right. That was the end of my Smash 4 career. Oh, I played Cloud after that the next game, and I still got body because I didn't know how Cloud worked.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sorry for the sidetrack.
For a little bit. Actually, I sort of entered tournaments for it. There's a period where I was sort of like considering dropping Melee for it, but I ultimately decided that no, there's no way. This game's it's not better than Melee. Like, I think they both have problems, but Melee has more merits to sort of outweigh the problems.
It's Skullgirls. Like, people don't care. You can just say Smash 4's garbage. I'll say hell yeah.
Garbage, because I don't think it is. I think it actually does have some legitimately good aspects to it. I think it's like I think it's like 1,000 trillion times better than Brawl.
I mean, you're right. There's nothing else to say about that.
I played Brawl when it came out, and I was like, that was before I played competitively, but I like immediately knew this game is not for me. I really hate everything that they did. Whereas like Smash 4, it's like it's still got problems, but it's not so bad. It's not like so extremely irredeemably awful.
No, yeah. It's some silly stuff at times, I guess. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, I guess.
So yeah, then I guess that brings us up to my Skullgirls. We've sort of went on a little bit of a detour, but anyway.
That's all good.
So when I started playing Skullgirls, now I think one of the big factors was that, well, I came into the game having previously played Marvel, so not Marvel 2, but Marvel 3, which was still like gave me a little bit of a head start compared to people who had never played Marvel before, which is like most newcomers to Skullgirls probably haven't played Marvel before, I'd say.
Yeah. A lot of the people haven't played any fighting games before, so there's that as well.
I had like fighting game experience, I had Marvel experience, so that alone gave me a little bit of a head start compared to people who didn't have those things. I think one sort of benefit was that when I started playing, when I like first started playing, I did have a job, but I was working at Movie World. It was just a holiday seasonal thing, so that was sort of ended in January, which was the same month that I started playing Skullgirls. So I was like briefly, there was a bit of an overlap where I was working and playing Skullgirls, but after that I had like several months where I was just completely doing nothing. So that gave me a lot of opportunity to just like grind the game all day, which is what I pretty much did.
So you needed it up?
What?
You
Oh yeah,
needed it up?
yeah, absolutely.
No, yeah, understandable.
Um,
Other than that, did you have any like special training routines, like watching your matches for specific things?
that was, I'd say that was the other really major thing was that Skullgirls. I never really watched my own matches that often. It was like in Melee, I occasionally in Melee. The problem is that the game doesn't have replays, so you've got to like play on a recording setup, and I didn't have a recording setup, so.
Or you had to go to a tournament to play on the stream, or something.
Every now and then, I'd get to play on stream at tournaments, and then I'd like check those games afterwards. But that was like, obviously, it was extremely infrequent. I could just get a whole set worth of matches, or like several games worth of matches, and just go ham on them all one up to the other or anything. I started to actually like watch my replays, and there was my
in Skullgirls?
Yeah, in Skullgirls.
Oh, yeah,
Skullgirls.
Yeah.
Although I guess like Street Fighter has replays as well. Although it does, right? Yeah, no, of course it does.
Street Fighter 4 has
I never really paid attention to them though. I didn't even think of it as being a thing that I should like actually look at. I kind of just like the only reason I looked at my replays to Street Fighter 4 is if I did something sick and I wanted to like make a gif of it.
My man.
I'd actually have. I wonder if I have some links. Yeah.
I'll be sure not to put them in the video.
Are you capturing video at all?
Yeah, I just have the like the my picture and your picture thingy. I just have that on, so people can see like if I like who's speaking, just to make it really easy and extremely obvious.
Yeah. Check this sick gif.
Okay, sure. See, you're playing. Who are you playing? I guess you're playing Ken. Yeah. Nice Ultra One.
My name was.
That's a cool Ultra One that would have lost to him doing anything else on Wake Up, but that's neat.
I was feeling myself about after that for a few reasons. Just like one was that was my rank up match, or not my rank up. It was like that was my first time getting over 1,000 PP.
All right. Oh yeah, because PP was a thing in Street Fighter 4.
Hard read his Wake Up, and I was like,
yeah, you read one of his 50 Wake Up options, dude. Good job. Street Fighter 4 Bison. What an idiot character.
Sorry, I got distracted.
It's all good.
Oh yeah, watching replays. Anyway, so I started watching replays in Skullgirls, and I think that really was sort of like one of the main things that made a huge difference compared to any other games. Other than that, I think another thing that really helped me in Skullgirls compared to other games that I've played was that the execution is a lot easier.
Right.
I think it sort of had like a twofold effect, which is that one was that obviously I can do things, I can do stuff. But the other effect was that playing Street Fighter 4, I sort of like, I attempted to do links like every so often. Like I went into training mode and I practiced it for like a little bit, and I sort of thought to myself, I don't know, I'm probably never going to be able to do this, or like I can't be fucked.
I mean, doing links in Street Fighter 4 online, good job.
There are some people who can do it though, I guess.
Those people are saints. Yeah. But
okay,
yeah.
there's no way I'll ever be able to do this. And then that alone sort of like affected my mentality, was that I was already making some kind of concession of like accepting that there was something that I couldn't do. Mm-hmm. Overall, had the effect of I didn't really believe that I was going to ever become great, because obviously like I'd already accepted that I couldn't do links, so I kind of just like accepted that I couldn't. Whereas in Skullgirls, I felt like since the execution barrier, there was nothing that I really couldn't do as such. What's stopping me from becoming best player ever? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, not really best player ever, but like, what's
That's a
stopping
good
me
mentality
from
to
getting
start
like
with.
hella good?
Yeah, yeah.
Like nothing. There's nothing stopping me from getting hella good, so I'm gonna try to do it. All of those things were kind of what made the major differences. That was just like for me personally compared to other games that I've played.
Hmm.
I don't know about like compared to other people because I don't really know what other people do. But me improving was sort of just a process of like I was watching my replays a lot, theorizing about stuff, and I had like a drive to become good. And
Hmm.
here's like what I'm going to say is the final factor.
You
Would
played
be
Squiggly.
Paxa. Yes, and no, you're probably implying it like Squiggly carries me or something.
No, no, no.
Right?
I was just memeing. I mean, that's the basis of the joke, but yeah. But I do understand
But
from
I
your
think
perspective that like you find a character that you really enjoy, so it makes it a lot more fun to practice.
um, yeah. So I feel like a lot of other people, their motivation sort of like faded a little bit, or they didn't have like the same sort of really powerful drive that I sort of had.
Yeah.
Kind of was that might be one of the things that makes the difference between me and other people. I don't really say anything else other than that.
Right. So like, I guess to summarize, it would be that you had a lot of time to practice the game when you were really new, due to a bunch of factors. It is what it is, and you really like wanted to be good because you had a good mindset going into it, and you studied your replays, and you were
Mhm.
able to force yourself. I mean, not necessarily force yourself, I guess, but like you were able to carry yourself through situations when you felt like you were like, I can't be bothered doing this. Then you were like, I gotta do it for Squiggly. So you were like, all right. Would you say that would be the crux of your, I guess, your improvement?
I don't know if that's like the oh yeah I can't do it but I've got to do it for Squiggy. I don't know if that's necessarily exactly correct, but
I
that's
don't know how
basically
else to
what it
put it,
was.
but I'm tired.
I guess the way I'd put it is probably more that like I was sort of like motivated by the idea of like being the best Squigly,
Hmm.
or like at least like the best Squigly in Oceania, which really was not a high goal, but
Yeah.
by the idea of sort of like bringing this character into relevance when like no one else played her.
Yeah. Maybe you regret that now. But that's what it is. You cut out, but I don't want to know what you said, so it's all good. Let's talk about the current,
Okay.
present. What do you think about the scene currently? What do you think about the new players? What do you think about the established players? What do you think about what's like going on? Because I don't know if you are the first person I've recorded this for when we have a new server or not. But I guess we can talk about that as
No,
well.
definitely. We didn't have the other server when you did it with Tomo.
Okay, sweet. So that's all good. So we can talk about that
So,
as well. What else can we talk about? We'll just see what happens.
so, what was it? There was like, what do I think about the scene? I think the scene's in a good place. New kids who are playing, and they seem to be sticking around. There's a few that are getting kind of good. Like we got Daniku, we got Busy.
Yeah. To give some context, I guess Busy got top four last Ranbats, which is nothing to sneeze at. Like,
Bit risky, didn't he?
yeah, he did. He actually outplaced Risky, which I think Risky got fifth. So it's pretty good.
Hmm. Yeah, he beat him in losers.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, right?
I think I'd have to look it up, but I can find that up real quick. But in any case, it doesn't matter. He did beat Risky. So
Yeah. So I guess present in the scene.
what do you think
That's
about
for like
the rest of the top players in your? area, I guess. I don't know. It
Uh,
around you.
okay. I think about the rest of the players. Well, I think the next best player after me, probably non-sandbagging Age. But Age is sort of like he's difficult to place because he just plays different teams all the freaking time. And the sort of when he was playing like his Bella teams, he had he was beating people. So, but I don't know. I've sort of struggled to figure out what he's thinking a lot of the time. Is why is he just playing fucking dash assists? Why is he doing it to himself? Because like
Alright,
he
you
gets
mean
hella
that way.
fucking mad against me all the fucking time. So, but like he's doing it to himself. I don't know. I don't understand what he's thinking.
Just to clarify, by the way, Risky did lose to Busy in losers round 4. This is losers top 8, I believe. No, this is not top 8, but this is top 6. But Risky lost to Busy 2-1, so Busy beat Risky 2-1. So there's that.
Going on him.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Um,
I'm impressed.
yeah, good. Say stuff about him like CM. Obviously, he's been sort of very critical of Age, saying that he's anything specific that I can sort of recall, but
Yeah, CM's opinion of Age is pretty it's pretty sharp. Which I don't really care about going into it. It's kind of it is what it is. I think we've even covered that on CM's episode, which you can go listen on my YouTube channel or watch, I guess. I don't know.
I'm really impressed with how he can play like so many characters. He plays like every character, and he's pretty good to decent with a lot of them. I feel like that also sort of hurts him. Is that if he had just like stuck with one team, I don't know, he's probably better than me. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose maybe. I mean, it depends on what you consider better, right? Like consistency is one thing, but being able to adapt is another thing, and stuff like that is a whole different set of things.
I'll say like being able to like beat me.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, like in tournament, yeah.
So obviously we got like Mal. Mal's pretty alright. He came to my house. We had a grand old time.
Nice. What's the story about that anyway? Like, what did he tell his parents? Because when I came to Australia to try to meet CM, I tried to use different arguments to try to let me go and see him, but they didn't let me. Because the argument that I posited was, I'm going to meet some guy I've seen over the internet I've never met in my entire life. And that didn't do well for me. So, how do you do it?
Uh,
Do you know how you do it?
yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess by now he's probably maybe his parents are used to the idea of him meeting up with people. So
I don't know what you're trying to imply here, buddy.
because like obviously you guys have been hanging out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Same sort of deal, isn't it?
No, it's
I
because
don't know.
I told my parents that I'd like met him before. Because the way I met Mao the first time was I went to a tournament. This is late 2016, and I just traveled there anyway. And I met him at the tournament, and then I was able to tell my parents, "Oh yeah, I met him at this tournament. He's a human being, not a person behind the screen or whatever." And so, can he stay over at my place? And then I went to stay over at his place. And which wasn't planned on, but that's a different story. I'll go over it at some point. It's pretty funny.
I don't know. Don't ask me, man, about like how he came over. But my parents were like sort of cool with it. They didn't. I don't think they cared that I was inviting someone over to my house.
Cool.
So I don't know, man. He's pretty good. He obviously plays Peacock. Well, not all of his characters. Big Man's obviously low tier, but
Jesus
Peacock
Christ.
and Double, big piece of shit. And he has like one really big problem, which is that his defense is really bad.
Yeah.
If I can get in on him, then he like completely crumbles.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even just a Peacock thing. I think it applies to like all of his characters.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like if he sort of prevent my resets and put me back to full screen, my win rate against him would like, I'd have to like win neutral as many times to be able to win, and that obviously makes a huge difference.
I think the problem with him at a bigger level is that he's gotten better at this, but he's really bad at adapting mid set. So like if you throw something new at him especially in the middle of a set, he can't bounce back from that very quickly, which is a bit of a problem. And I feel like his bad defense being exacerbated by the characters that he plays. Like Peacock's defensive tools are not very good, and Double's defensive tools are not very good. And Big Band, he's got good reversals, but like there's only so many reversals you can do to just win a game. Back from neutral or something. I don't know, or like back from a disadvantage, especially now in the new Undizzy era. I guess. I mean, maybe not new. I guess at this point.
I know it's been a little while.
Yeah. I think it happened when you were coming in, so it says quite a bit about how long it's been around.
It was playing. I remember it happening because I remember, previously having done the combos into A Train and then thinking, oh, I can't do these anymore.
Yeah.
So I remember it happening.
Yeah, but yeah, I think if he also has a problem where he doesn't just do the idiot reset with Peacock all the time. He does things that are not that idiot reset, and then he loses because of it. And I'm like, just do the idiot reset.
Yeah, I guess so.
He'll do some stupid cross up, or into the overhead, which I can see from a mile away, and just super. And then he's like, all right, and I'm like, you right. And then he dies for it, and I'm like, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I guess that's what I think of him. It's a cool dude. I think he's coming over for a tournament.
He is a cool dude though, and he's obviously a scientist. He's done compiling of data, and he's made some helpful videos. I say helpful. I'm thinking about the squiggly daisy pusher video, which is really the opposite of helpful for me.
Yeah,
it's helpful.
It's helpful for the community at large. Yeah, he's about that stuff.
Yeah, no, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
There's one other not very good player who I'm forgetting. I don't even remember who he is.
Alright.
Yeah, so scene going forward, I feel like the potential to live for a little while. I don't know how long, but a little while longer at least. It's not in danger of dying yet, because I I'm gonna stop playing it anytime soon.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you from playing any in the foreseeable future, right?
Well, I guess the first thing is going to be Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is coming out very soon.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many people are going to sort of switch over to that or stay with that for however long.
Yeah. I think Skullgirls has carved up a bit of a niche for itself, especially in the community of the players that we do have. So, I don't see it being a massive threat, especially because Skullgirls' niche is that it runs on a toaster, and Dragon Ball FighterZ is most definitely not going to do that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
So it's got some value in that.
So can be purchased for very small amounts of money.
Yeah, that too. You spend a dime and you get a toaster and you can run Skullgirls. You Gucci.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I appreciate that a great deal.
Yeah.
Which, although I guess I don't run it on my laptop very often, but theoretically I could if I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Did you want me to go back and talk about you?
Nah, I don't care. That's whatever. I mean, if it's up to you. It's your podcast. We're 50 minutes in. Usually, especially since it's 11:45 right now, and I'd like to go to sleep relatively early. I don't mind just doing an hour-long episode or something, but if it goes to an hour 30, 2 hours, I don't really care too much. I'll get some coffee or something.
Okay.
It's up to you. It's your
Okay.
episode.
I guess I'll just go into it briefly. I don't know. I think you're okay. I
Cool.
guess.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Alright. Yeah. Let's move on.
Nice. Nice. Well played. You got me. But yeah, I guess you can kind of talk about the game. I mean, you kind of posited your opinions. I guess you think Big Ben's low tier, and you think Peacock and Double are OP, which
Yeah.
pretty much
Big Ben's
covers
fine.
everything I want to hear from you. No, I'm just
Thank
kidding.
you. I don't know. I don't know. Everyone's like telling me that just like Big Band's not bad, and it's only that my Big Band is bad, including a CM, but I think it's bad.
I don't know.
But I talk about that. I don't want to really go into a whole argument about it.
It's all good.
Um,
It's up to you.
what was I gonna say? Okay, so I'll give my thoughts on like the game as a whole. How about that?
Sure.
And my thoughts is that it's a very very good game that I enjoy a great deal, and I think it is my favorite fighting game that I've ever played. I like it more than Melee.
Mhm.
I'm sort of declaring that. Although I think the way I put it is that Melee sort of has higher heights, but Skullgirls is a much more consistent experience.
What do you mean
like-
when you say higher heights?
Watch like Mango vs. Leffen.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean like in terms of skill level?
It's sort of like in terms of skill level, also in terms of hype and excitement and creativity.
Mhm.
Those things. I think Melee is like extremely deep and it's like really fascinating and it's
Yeah.
really amazing game. But
It's
So
also
I
got
think in
some
that
incredible
regard-
garbage in it. You know.
I think like watching sort of like the highest level of Melee is a fighting game by far.
Yeah.
But it's got some major problems. Like obviously the balance is really bad. Fox is a piece of shit. Jigglypuff's a piece of shit. Wobbling is crap.
Yeah. I think Ice
got,
Climbers are
like-
garbage outside of wobbling, but that's my opinion.
I think Ice Climbers have some cool potential. I think like the handoffs are cool.
I mean, they're cool to do, I guess. They're not cool to get hit by, and the character's still pretty stupid as
Yeah,
it
I don't know. They're cool to watch.
is. You can
Like
have that
Melee
opinion.
is.
I'm not like the more I play the game, the more I feel like Ice Climbers is just like kind of the ability of them to kind of just win scrambles a lot better makes it really dumb for me. I don't know. I also play like when I play against PM ICs, any time I play PM Donkey Kong and I just get destroyed. I'm like, I can't split these characters up and I just get I get dumpstered every time. I can't recover. I get down air fared at 50, down throw fared at 50, and I'm like, okay, next talk, let's go. But yeah.
Melee, if there was like a hypothetical sort of like balanced or refined Melee's sort of basic ideas,
You mean
that
PM?
could possibly. But like I don't know, the problem with PM is that it sort of never gained traction in Queensland, so I never really got an opportunity to play it much. I
Yeah.
think PM is actually really cool, and I respect it a lot. It's a shame that sort of I was never able to really get into it competitively.
Does Queensland just not have a PM scene at all or something?
Everyone in Queensland hates PM. They actually like shit talking all the time.
Okay. I guess they
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
they got bananaed by Diddy in 3.02 and they were like, this game is garbage. And I'd agree. 3.02 was garbage.
Yeah, no, it's like I wish PM had like not stopped development because I think it could have been really great.
Yeah. The thing with PM was that, especially in the 3.6 version, they'd like the development cycle, because like there's a guy over here that was part of PMDT and he talks about it a lot, and he was like, oh, the way we were trying to balance it was like, oh, 3.02 was everyone was just garbage, everything was stupid, and then 3.5, 3.6 they kind of toned it down a bit, and kind of made like some characters a bit better, like Meta Knight got buffs and Fox and Falco were really still really strong, which it is what it is these days. And like the melee characters were getting a little bit stronger and stuff like that. And in the next version, like before 4.0, when like Knuckles and stuff was coming out, they were like we will make the game a bit more crazier for everybody and make it not so standard, and it'll be cool for everybody. And then it never happened. So
Yeah, no, I think that's a great shame. What happened with PM?
yeah.
It's really unfortunate. Back to Skullgirls. I think Skullgirls, it's a very good game. I think it's way that it's team aspect to it. Although, like before I played Skullgirls, I didn't think of myself as being like, oh yeah, I love team games. Because the only one I played, was Marvel 3, which is a piece of shit game. But like, I kind of enjoy the team aspect to it, and even still, I wouldn't say that like, oh yeah, in the future I'm going to be more interested in team games because of Skullgirls. But I think it's sort of like in Skullgirls, in the context of Skullgirls, I do enjoy it. I think it's incredibly well balanced. I think it could possibly be the most balanced fighting game ever made. Although I really can't say that because like I haven't played a lot of fighting games, obviously. But compared to, the way I think of it is that like I compare it to games that people say are balanced. Like people say Guilty Gear is balanced, and
Not Rev 2. I'll just say not Rev 2.
yeah, I don't know.
I think the thing with Skullgirls is that it has a lot of strategic balance. Like, you can play a lot of different styles, and they all can work. Like, you can have really strong zoning, you can have incredibly strong rushdown and mix-up, you can have incredibly strong camping for resources, and then doing idiot moves, and, it all working. I'm not gonna name characters who do that. But they are dead characters, so it's, there's that. And they're also robots, so there's that as well. I mean, Robo does that, but like, the game has so much potential for really strong but yet really unique playstyle. Like, it allows you to play whatever playstyle you want in a really strong way, to where that's what makes the balance really strong. Instead of the characters themselves being balanced well, which, it is what it is. Some characters are better than others, obviously, but the team nature of it and the strategic fluidity, yeah, that's the word I was looking for, fluidity of the game makes the game a lot more balanced and a lot more fun, even though it's balanced. Because, like, you can have balanced games that are just not fun at all. Like, you can have, like, I think some versions of Blaze Blue are considered really balanced, but they're so garbage, nobody wants to play them because they're not fun at all. But Skullgirls is fun and balanced, which is a really difficult aspect to do well, and they've done it pretty well.
Yeah. It annoys me sometimes when people say that, oh, we care about fun more than balance, because it's sort of like giving up the idea that both could be achieved.
Yeah.
But I think Skullgirls does sort of achieve it, and it achieves it very well.
Yeah. Like, all sort of play styles can be really well, like, done. So, it's pretty good. Big fan.
Yeah, like, I think like every single aspect of the game, maybe not every single aspect, but a lot of the aspects of the game are just really well tuned. Like even down to things like the meter building.
Yeah.
When you compare it to like the meter building in like Skullgirls versus the meter building in Marvel 3, Skullgirls more sort of like much more conservative meter building makes sort of meter management much more important. And like it's those kinds of things, like the way the game is sort of tuned works really well instead of sort of being haphazard and
like it just happening to work.
Stuff like that. And the other great thing about Skullgirls is that like the training mode's one of the best.
Yep.
The online's one of the best, aside from like the lobby issues. But as far as like when you're playing a game, it's like one of the best easily. And like all those kinds of things is that when I go to like play any new game in the future, I'm gonna have to be dealing with, oh yeah, this is like not as good as Skullgirls. This is not as good as Skullgirls. And it's sort of like that's kind of why I think that like Skullgirls is probably a game that I'm going to be playing for a long time, just because it has all these aspects that are like so good about it. And really, I think it's a game where it's like there's not really much about it that I can complain about.
I got some stuff.
Dislike fighting. Yeah, I know you do. But like for me personally, I think there's no character in this game that I don't like fighting against. Like even Peacock, I think she's cheap, but it's not like, oh, I don't want to deal with this shit. I want to, like, if I'm playing against Peacock, I want to hit play again. I want to try again.
Mm. No, I get you.
Jigglypuff in Melee, I just want to like turn the console off and leave.
Yeah.
No.
In PM she doesn't exist, so you're Gucci.
Yeah, that's nice.
They just put Wario in, and he's way more fun to combo and way more fun to edgeguard because you can do both to him.
Yes. Oh man, I kind of wish PM actually existed, and
Yeah.
I wish it would continue. But that's okay because I'm like Skullgirls is good. I'm playing Skullgirls now.
Yeah,
So
whenever
don't really
whenever
have
you're down to visit like Wellington at some point, we'll show you PM. It's big fun.
any- Cool.
Yeah. But other than that,
I guess.
oh, sorry, you were saying
that-
something?
Yeah, I'm saying the problem with PM for me is that I don't really have a character in it.
Sheik is great. Just play Sheik.
No, I don't know if I want to play Sheik. I feel like she feels weird,
She's so good.
which is
She's so good in PM. She's basically the same
Problem-
character, except like perhaps even slightly strongly better. Because you
play
have
Sheik.
you have the down throw back throw stuff. You have still really strong edge guarding. You have really strong combos. You have much easier characters to be comboed. You don't have to tech chase as hard. What great character, idiot character, great character.
Yeah, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I would just play Sheik. In the times I played PM in the past, I pretty much just played Link and Zelda. Is that in response to something?
Oh, we have a pocket Zelda over here, and he's a bit of a pain. Not as much Squiggly, but a bit of a pain. It's all Gucci when I just grab him at 65 and have punch, I just kill him. I'm Gucci. I'm like, yeah, I played, buddy. Donkey Kong. But yeah, it's not a PM podcast. Yeah,
Okay.
but I can't think of anything at the moment. I guess we didn't really talk about what didn't we talk about? I guess the new players are good. Kind of just mentioned some of them, some of the uprising stars. I guess the rest of the players. I guess the existence of the Discord, which we haven't covered before on the podcast. I guess I don't know.
I don't know if there's much to say about the Discord. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
like,
what I was thinking too.
Discord, it's cool.
It's a good thing. I don't know if Shuffle is like, because I don't see him in the Skullgirls Discord very often. I just assume like he just is constantly shitposting in the other one, but I don't go there
Yeah.
because I haven't gone there in months, and I see no reason why I should go because I don't want
He
to.
does go into like the shitpost channel, but he's mostly just talking about like Magic and PUBG.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how often he talks about Skullgirls.
I guess he talks about games he plays. So it's all good.
A good point.
But other than that,
Future.
sorry.
So, what were you saying?
Other than that, I just can't think of anything. We have the new centralized Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, which is cool. Again, nothing else to really say about that.
I was gonna say that like
Oh, sorry. Are you doing the thing again, by the way?
can you hear me?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Sorry, you say what you were gonna say.
Oh, I was saying that you were saying about something like, oh, you know about that, or whatever, I don't know. Like when I was mentioning the Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
I don't know. I don't think I was saying anything about it.
What's this? This is, whatever. In any case, there's the Discord, the Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, the rand bets we do every week, which is cool. I think we should keep doing that. Because the thing is that the rand bets being every week was so good, it just kept interest in the game going, and the fact that we forced ourselves to run it every week outside of I think maybe 1 or 2 weeks or something, just kept the consistency low, and that consistency is what I think keeps new players around. Because like when you had come in for the first time, After that, if we were like, you know what, we're tired, we're not going to do a ran bats, I don't know if we would have retained the new players, you know? That was a good part.
Probably not actually. Like, yeah, I think the idea of like being able to play in Rambats and sort of have something to work towards is a really big part of it. It's part of keeping new players. So I hope we do continue that indefinitely.
Yeah. And that's why I really respect Shuffle a lot for that too, because, you know, especially towards the end
Just
of the year where he just streamed everything, he ran the bracket and everything like that. Like, it's not easy, so I hate giving him props, but you know, you have to. It's, you know, very respectful.
I hate giving him props.
Because he's going to be like, oh no, yeah, I'm so good. No, I'm just kidding, he's never going to do that. It's just funny talking about that.
I don't mind giving Shuffle props. I think he's a great guy, and I really appreciate everything he's done for the scene.
Yeah, I do too, I just don't like saying it.
Well,
It's
I
a
don't
it's
know.
a funny meme, okay? Sometimes you gotta let a funny meme go and say it's just a funny meme. But yeah, again, I don't have much else. Do you
I'm
have
just gonna
anything?
like sort of talk about the future, not just like the future of the scene necessarily, but sort of like my future.
Sure.
Like I've mentioned, I intend to keep playing it, and I'm trying to keep sort of. I'm sort of haven't completely decided, but I do feel like I want to go to Combo Breaker one time. I don't know if
Nice.
it'll be this year because I didn't realize it's so early in the year. It's actually in May, at
Yeah.
the same time as BAM. So I feel like I kind of want to prioritize BAM for this year.
Yeah.
But maybe one day I'll go to Combo Breaker. I hope the scene sort of stays alive.
There's been
Be
enough
able to.
garbage thrown at Skullgirls, and it has like stuck around. And I think at this point, it's just not gonna go away.
Yeah, I hope so. I feel like I sort of if well, CM like the thing was going to be that CM was going to leave. He's going to move to Poland. He's now said that he's not going to do that as soon as he thought he was.
Oh, okay.
But you must. It sounds like that's the first time you're hearing about it.
Oh, because he talked about
So
it in the Australian one. I never go there, dude.
let's do what you feel.
I just don't like going
Um,
there. I don't want to talk about it, and I really don't like going there at all. So I think we talked about it last night. I just yeah.
there's like certain individuals who we don't like.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. What was I saying? Yeah, I want to sort of like continue getting better at the game,
Hmm.
and I feel like it's gonna not be as easy now that like significantly better than me that I can play against in OCE.
Hmm.
Like CM doesn't play anymore, which is a big shame. I've got to either do it on my own or play against people from Japan somehow, which is sort of like I have one friend that I've met on Quick Match that I've played with a few times. He's like pretty good. Like usually when I play against him, ratio is like I go 1 to 2 against him.
Hmm.
It's a squiggly, which is interesting. He doesn't even use speed extend, and he fucking kicks my ass.
Well. But I
Yeah,
think CM used to play a few people from Japan back in the day, and the connection was like, I mean, it depends on the person you play, I guess. But even so, there are people who you can attempt to play and just hope that the connection is just not total dog ass, and so you can learn from
yeah.
it. Like I think
I was
he
just talking
played some
about.
guy who played like double big band or something, like point double, and he learned a lot from just playing that guy, and the connection wasn't just complete garbage. So, like, if you can find some person like that, that's pretty good.
The guy I was talking about, I have like 200 ping with to him, and I usually play on 2 or 3, and I feel
Yeah.
like it is noticeable, but it's still tolerable. Like I can reasonably play against him,
Right.
which is good. I'm probably gonna like play against him a bit more and see if I can a lot more Japanese players, even the American players. I actually had playable connections against Americans at times.
Yeah, it depends on the person you play. Like I think I played Fenster
Just
a while ago, like almost 2 years ago or 3 years ago at this point. I don't know, but it was pretty good. Like I could play him, and even though I had to set like 3 delay, which and I'm really bad with delay in Skullgirls compared to any other game. Like I'll do okay with delay and exert, but with Skullgirls I just get really twitchy about my combos. I drop everything. I can't react to anything.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But like even then, I could play Fencer and be like, oh yeah, I can actually learn from this. So if you want to pursue that option, it's not complete dog ass.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely do want to.
Speaking, I
What's I
guess
gonna say?
improvement. What do you think are the points that you need to improve upon?
The obvious thing is that my big band is obviously needs work,
Mhm.
and I think my big band's like not that bad. I need to figure him out a lot more than I have.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it comes down to people say that he's not bad. It's just your big band is bad, but it must just be that either other people are wrong or there's something I haven't figured out about. I don't understand. So that's something that I'm going to continue working on. I've been playing like when I play against the other noobs, I always either play solo band or point band.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good way to go.
Like I feel like there's not really much point playing point squiggly against them
Nah,
because
nah, nah.
I destroy them. Yeah, I'm still working on band. I think like my set play still needs work. I sort of haven't really worked on it for a long time because I felt like it's been okay for a long time, but it still could be better. When I say set play, I basically just mean like my resets and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know if people don't like the term set play or whatever. I don't
Nah, I
know.
think it's fine. If they complain about it, they can write it in the comments of the Skullgirls Oceanic channel part of the VOD. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about.
I feel like I need to sort of emphasize situations where I have like multiple mix-up options,
Yep.
like where I can mix up with burst baits or throws and that kind of thing, which is sort of like I do a little bit, but I also need to actually be consistent at my burst bait setups because like a lot of times I don't space it right. I'm really not good enough at it. I absolutely know that I need to fix.
Mhm.
Um, things I guess.
Is there anything else like dealing with particular characters that have really big normals and particular assists that are really quick recovering and things?
Yeah, I guess I'm still like trying to figure out the. I'm still trying to get better at hitting assists, and it's sort of like something I consciously think about. Like I'm gonna continue to work on. I don't feel like there's any like specific matchup I do really badly at. I sort of have like a decent handle. I'm probably most worried about like Beowulf because I don't have much experience against him.
Mhm.
Pretty oppressive. Like he's got like the really strong shit, like the strong jump heavy punch,
Yeah.
which I figured out how to beat it by the way, which is that you just have to iterate it.
Yeah. No,
If,
it's just depending on spacing. It's like I think it's like dealing with Puff Bear is that it's big and if you space it well, you just can't beat it. But it depends on your spacing. If you
I
if
think
you get
like
to air, it's because you were able to get close enough to him quick enough, and he like misread the spacing and what you were doing to beat it. If that makes any sense?
yeah, I guess so. It's sort of like I was trying training mode of like calling hairball and doing jump heavy punch at the same time. If you just stay on the ground, there's like nothing you can do.
If I
That
space
sort
it
of
well, yeah,
situation.
yeah. There's ways to like super jump over him if you like. Again, the way to kind of deal with it is just have good spacing against him and either force Beowulf to do a closer one so you can chicken block and just punish, or chicken block and call beat extend and punish, or if you are just too far away, then it just whiffs and nobody cares. It's actually very much like dealing with aerial drift in like melee or something where you try to force him to do an early. I mean, you can't really force an early or late one because it's basically going to be active till you hit the ground. But if you force him to do a close one when he wanted to do a far one, then you can force a specific mix-up on him. Like mix-ups like that, where you make him do a close one and he does a far one, and stuff like that.
I
And there's
get you.
ways to do that to beat it and like punish him for it.
Okay, I'm probably gonna have to just like continue to play more and experiment.
Yeah. Another thing is that
Oh,
obviously if it hits really early, like if it hits some characters as it's going up, then it's not going to be doing anything till it lands on the ground, which is a way you can try to find to punish it.
you and Raybats last week. It was pretty much I was just like running away the whole time because I was just did not feel able to contest it.
Yeah.
But
Like you can't be at
really,
roll. You can't if the Beowulf player is actually doing his job well, you are not allowed to air it. Like he'll just space it better than you can space against him. Is this the power of a strong poke?
trying to learn how to beat it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can probably ask CM about it. He'll give you a few tips.
I don't think I need to ask him yet. I want to like just like play more, and then if I'm still having troubles, then I'll ask him.
Sure. I guess that works. He'll probably just provide you with some Buddhist strategy that he found on some YouTube video. You ask the Aether, and the Aether gives you whatever garbage. I don't know. I actually hate that so much, but you know. Anything
One thing that I was
other
going
than
to
that?
say.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It's when I was talking about like CM is that originally the idea was that CM was going to be going to Poland, and we now know that he's possibly not going to be in the future, like in the immediate future, but
Mhm.
eventually he possibly will.
Mhm.
I just really feel like there was a period of time where I was thinking that inherit the title of number one SGOCE if he completely leaves. And I want to sort of like be deserving of that title in if and when that happens.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'll ever be as good as CM, but I want to like at least be respectable. That I personally feel comfortable of one SGOC.
I respect that.
My goal, I guess. That's my motivation,
That's
and I
that.
sort of want to like do it for the with like the scene. I want to sort of be able to fulfill the role that he was filling if
Mhm.
he leaves. Like part of why I want to like learn other characters is I want to sort of have some kind of understanding of like most characters.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'll ever. I don't really feel that motivated to like grind into depth into other
Nah.
characters. I feel like I still just want to stick with what I know, but I want to like at least have some kind of understanding of every character.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like I can say something like if I'm doing commentary or whatever, I can say things about Squiggly without being a Squiggly player, I guess. But that are not just Squiggly memes. Like I can go, oh yeah, that's what happening because that. The Squiggly player wants this, and they're allowed to do this because of that, and so on and so forth. I think the more game knowledge you have like that, the easier it becomes to adapt on the fly and be
So
better
knowledge
at
is power.
analyzing situation. Yeah, knowledge is power. And like, cause if you've never played against a Fukua, like I'm gonna like Danny isn't the best Fukua that he's the best Fukua we have, but he's not the best Fukua player. So if you go against
Yeah, I
if you
agree.
do go to Combo Breaker and you happen to play Sonic Fox, you're just gonna get completely Fukua'd and you'll have no idea what to do, and you'll come home with the American idea that Fuku is a idiotic character, which couldn't be further from the truth, in my opinion, from my experience playing the character.
But you don't think Fuku is good?
I don't think she's very good now. I think she's specifically good in some situations, and even then she's kind of outclassed. Like, I mean, I have the somewhat controversial opinion that I think Miss Fortune is actually the best character in the game, and Peacock's a second, a close second, but a second, which CM I do not think agrees with. No, he's like he thinks that Fortune can be fished, but Peacock is currently solidly first, which I agree with. Right now, anyway. But I think Fortune can get there, but we'll never know.
I think I really don't understand Fortune much at all. I think she's one of the characters I understand the least.
Fortune's a
Even though
character
in
like
theory
I think the Fortune is actually like incredibly hard to fight against if you play against a good one because you have to constantly pay attention to the head and where it is and the options that it has,
The head's a
alongside
piece of shit.
to paying attention to Fortune's 50 movement options, which she has a double jump, air dash, delay movement with the axe, and the head is always threatening you. And especially if the head's behind you, you made some spacing error and you're gonna die for it. Because idiotic head. Like, just playing around is really hard.
Kind of like, because in theory, on paper, I do have Fortune experience, because like obviously Haggith plays Fortune, and Shuffle did play Fortune back when he played,
Hmm.
but I feel like even
Haggith
though
doesn't have
I
any set
sort of
play,
have
which is a
Fortune
problem.
experience.
Haggith has like zero set play,
Yeah, no,
and
Haggith is like the fourth.
yeah, yeah, actually yes. Oh my god, that's so accurate.
Made that connection before.
Not really. I was just cause he has good neutral, and he has decent situation awareness. Like, he jabs in decent places, not always, but he's better jabbing in
Yeah.
some places than others, and stuff like that. But I guess I never really made the connection like that, because when I think warp, I just think like idiot tech skill but good player. But I guess combos kind of are tech skill, so.
I guess so.
But yeah.
What was I gonna say? I feel like the character that I've always thought was the best is not necessarily the best from like difficult for me to make tier list knowledge or like to sort of state who I think is the best because obviously my experience is limited and whatnot. But just from like, and also the other thing is that like when Sam like says the best, that's sort of from the idea of Peacock is the most exploitable. Is that we're like when played optimally,
Yep.
she is the most best.
He's got the 28-6 argument
As
for his character.
far as like most well-rounded character, I've always thought that Double was the best.
Yeah, I can see why you would think that. Not trying to make a jab, like I can see like the reasoning behind it.
Yeah. Although, like, when you say Fortune, that's sort of like when I think about it, it seems like on paper, but I can't even declare that because I've not played against any good Fortunes. But
Yeah. There was a point I was learning Fortune, and the more I studied, the more I was like, this character's insanely busted. I'm just really bad at this character. Which is kind of my
that's sort of
experience
like
getting into it.
interesting that like you've sort of brought that up because I've never really thought about it, and it's made me realize just how much lacking in knowledge I am.
Hey,
The
you'll get there.
characters.
It's all Gucci.
Oh, am I going to get there if I don't? If there are no other good Fortunes I can play against, or if there's like, if
No, I mean
the
like
rest
in
of the
general,
scene
like in
is
terms of knowledge. I don't know about Fortune specifically. Maybe there'll be a point I'll just give up Philly and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna play Fortune now. There's better Philly.
yeah, maybe.
So maybe you'll see that. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say with Fortune though, because Fortune's problem is she's dedicated point character. She can never be a really good assist character at all, or a character in the back, because she'll be one of the most garbage characters in the back. Because garbage DHCs, garbage assists, nothing good about her from that perspective, other than Dash AC, which is she's the best character in the game to have that on. But even then, it's like, who cares? Dash AC is actually not really that good. It's a bunch
Definitely
of
not.
memes. Dash AC is an epic meme. I'm not a fan of it. I like it. I like Dash AC a lot. I just think like epic meme. It's just over bloated, and every time Shuffle mentions it, it's just even more bloated, and then just go, oh god, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I really hope the scene continues to grow, and I hope the Oceanic scene. I hope like people come along and become even better than me. I hope that happens. I hope like the scene to keep growing forward because I feel like if there's anything that would make me stop playing Skullgirls is if I become like too strong and it's not fun anymore. Which I hope that doesn't ever happen.
oh, you become the Ken.
It's kind of contradictory. Is that make it happen? I want to be like so good that I beat everyone, but that's also like might be the worst possible scenario.
No, yeah, I understand that.
What do you say? Trying to become the Ken?
Yeah. Because Ken was winning everything, and then he was like, I don't have the fire,
Uh,
or whatever, and it was really
I'm
funny.
talking about like Street Fighter lore.
Oh, no,
Okay,
no, no, I
I'm
was talking
not.
about melee lore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ken. He's a guy.
Yeah. I don't know garbage about Street Fighter lore. I know the SF4 remix lore, which is pretty funny. It's really cool. So in SF4 remix, Ken is like, I am so rich, I will become a charge character, and now Ken is a charge character, which is pretty funny.
Sounds cool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, remix is fun, but
That's all I wanted to say.
uh, I can't think
I
of anything right now. Oh, you were saying
is
something?
that yeah. It's just like I haven't really talked much about Squiggly because I sort of had like at some point I was going to rant about Squiggly, but it never happened.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Let,
Go
let,
ahead.
so let's keep it that way.
That's all good. If you know if you have to break a few eggs, then let's do that. I don't care. It's up to you. If you don't want to do it, it's also fine.
Ah,
It's all good.
let's hear me talk about Squiggly.
I think okay, my unbiased as objective opinion as quickly as possible is that I think resource-based characters are incredibly are like inherently difficult to play. Like there's no question about it because getting the resource by itself is a bit of a pain, and the mental burden, I guess, of having to maintain a resource and going, I have the resource, and just not choking it up and going, I have the resource, I'm going to spend it now, which I've actually learned from playing PMDK of all things,
Oh, yeah,
is actually fairly taxing and a bit of a mental discipline. So being able to maintain charge, being able to, because like it's basically like it's your own, like it's your second meter or your third meter, I guess, with the two charges, I guess. But Sing is the most relevant move, so I'm just gonna say Punch Charge is the most relevant out of all of those.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely, Punch Charge is a lot more relevant.
Yeah, but like you have to maintain your meter because you need it for your Sing follow ups, and you have to maintain your Punch Charge because that's how you do the goddamn move. Like maintaining those two things is fairly hard, of all things. But like Swiggly is weird because you would think that all the punches, charges, and the stances and everything would make it complicated, but she's actually ultimately not that complicated given the surface level complexity that she appears to show. Like you go, oh, punch charge, kick charge, it's all really weird and stuff, but you just go, I just want punch charge, and after that I'm kind of Gucci. The opponent kind of has to chill. They don't
Yeah.
have they can't swing at you with idiot garbage.
Mhm.
And otherwise they get pwned. Um, but even then,
It's
sorry. Oh, you're doing the cutout thing, by the way.
oh yeah, sorry. I just said you continue.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, yeah. So Gucci. But what was I trying to say? But I think like Squiggly outside of that is she has potential for some really stupid stuff because low profile is really weird. The hitbox is really narrow. Like stuff like that can be it's really annoying to fight in scrambles, but ultimately, like, it's just a matchup knowledge issue and being able to be comfortable in the situation. Be like, okay, Squiggly's just doing this thing. She's allowed to do this. I have to bait it in a different way. It's like baiting a stupid reversal. You go, okay, this Ken is going to DPF ADC in front of my face. I just have to block. Otherwise, I'm going to get ulted, you know? And if you, like, if you complain about that, you have a right to complain to some degree, but if you keep wallowing about it, you get. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know how to continue that. But.
I think it's interesting when you're like talking about how resource characters are difficult to play because I feel like Squiggly is not really a resource character.
I mean, the punch charge,
Like
getting
she
the punch
kind
charge
of
is
is.
important.
Like the thing is that it's very trivial to actually get it when you have the right assists, and by right
Yeah,
assists I mean beat extend.
yeah. Like I mean,
It's
like
sort of
getting in the
like
middle of a combo is kind of whatever, but like getting in a neutral and like say your beat extend gets hit, and you're still building the charge, and you go, okay, I have the charge, it's all Gucci, but you've lost your assist. So your assist is part of your resources. Like stuff like that. If that makes any sense. So
I guess so.
managing your resources that way, like sacrificing beat extend to get punch charge in certain situations where otherwise you're really kind of stuck, and managing that and kind of going, okay, was that the best decision I could have made, or was there something else I could have done? Could I just have blocked and then push blocked and then call beat extend, or because like the decisions you make and the way they're affected is heavily like incentivized or not so by you having a special weightage on your RPS. Like like if I'm playing DK, like that's the only way I can really compare it, because punch is really important as a move. I can go, okay, I want to zone with bear, or I want to dash down, or should I run away and try to get charge to kind of force them to come at me, and this other aspect of my game is heavily incentivized. Let's run away, just camping on the platform is incentivized by me getting a good resource at the end of it. Stuff like that. Like I don't know how much sense I'm making, and I don't know how relatively
And I get you.
like I don't know how like corollary I guess that is to squiggly punch charge, but yeah.
It's that like typically you think of resource characters is that they have to make decisions and they have to make sacrifices.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
do I want to continue my pressure? Do I want to get my resource? I feel like Squiggly doesn't have to do that. I think like because charge only takes 1 second to build,
Yeah.
it's like very easy to get. And if you ever don't have it, you can just do like beat extend, jump back, build charge, and you have it straight away. And also that like I don't ever feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't spend it because I should save it because it's so easy to get back. And
Mhm.
like if I use it to get a hit, I can just call beat extend to get it during a combo.
Oh
So I feel
yeah,
like
that's
in
true.
that regard, I feel like it's something that I ever have to like consciously make decisions about. So it's kind of interesting that like what might appear on the surface to be such a major part of her game actually ends up not being so.
Yeah, which is funny because like Tomo was talking about how Squiggly was like that, and then he was like, "Oh, Beowulf looks so simple because idiot jump heavy punch button, idiot buttons everywhere, idiot other things," but then he's actually so much more complicated because the chair system is its own thing. Getting the knockdowns, getting them in certain situations, and setting them for Oki and stuff like that is really complicated. Hype is really complicated because it's a fairly big
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of his thing. Using Heavenly, all these tools are so much more complicated than they seem. It's like the opposite of Squiggly, which I find pretty funny.
Yeah, it's absolutely that's a good point. There is a contrast there.
Like if I drop a chair combo, I just go, I'm just gonna suck for the rest of the game unless I get my chair back. It's such garbage. That's actually such a dumb part. Like the chair resource. Like I just feel like Beowulf. I like Beowulf and I like playing him, and he's kind of fun and big punches, big fun. But he's essentially such a dumbly designed character. Not even just to fight against, but just like in terms of just design, so bad.
Uh,
Not one of the highlights of the game.
People
I
have
guess I can
like
kind of talk
sometimes
about that.
said that
Oh, sorry, what were
like
you saying?
Squiggly is. I was saying that like people have sometimes said that Squiggly is like not a well-designed character, that her design doesn't feel cohesive and whatnot
No, I think that's wrong. I think it definitely is cohesive.
too. I think like when I first started playing her, I kind of just believed what other people said, right? So I
Yeah.
thought like, oh, she's not very good. Her moveset's like not kind of
I think
just
I
make it
think the
work
thing
anyway.
is that her moveset is very cohesive in a vacuum, but then you put assists on it and then it just becomes dumb. Like you have the big jumping heavy punch to kind of stall people out, as a zoning tool
Yeah, yeah,
and stuff like that. But then you go, what if I put this big metal man in front of me and just camp behind him? And you're like, all right,
yeah.
like stuff like that.
I think like gotten better at Squiggly. I understand now of how her tools fit together. Like, and one example is I don't know how many people have thought about this. Is Crouch Heavy Punch and Sing Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
These two tools, they kind of work in tandem with each other. That one's a low, one's a grab,
Yeah.
and you can like sort of use them so you can space yourself outside of their range, like at the max range, where you can do like 50-50s with it.
Yeah.
You know, and sort of like be safe, right? Because you're
Yeah.
far away. It was intended to be used that way. I don't know if Mike like thought, oh, I better give her this disjointed low so that she can do this, or if that was just a coincidence. I guess I wouldn't put it past Mike to think of that kind of thing because he is a smart guy.
I think that particular interaction might have been a coincidence, but like just the fact that she has a big low is just a you know big low good move. You know. Anga
Yeah,
anga. I don't know. Uga booga. I don't know. Like I feel like the particular interaction like that is actually pretty cool. I guess as a character, it's pretty garbage when you have to play against it, especially when Big Metal Man is in front of you and you just get
yeah.
destroyed. That was a big part of why I hated playing against Squiggly so much. Was that I was just like, okay, if I put you in a scramble, you're just far away, and I can't do anything about this Big Metal Man, and I get 50-50, and I die.
Yeah, dude, that's what it's about.
Yeah, but I was
I
like,
think
then I just started to play against it, in ways I shall not disclose.
Squiggy Big Man is a good team. I've sort of like come around to it. Is that like obviously I was reluctant to play Big Band at first, but playing them together, I think it just works really well.
Yeah.
Game team for me. I don't feel like I ever want to play trio. I feel like I think there's a sort of like a beautiful simplicity to it that I
Yeah.
just really enjoy.
I think.
Make things any more complicated than they need to be.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. That's a fine and respectable opinion to have, especially for a Squiggly player. God. But yeah, we kind of extended that a fair amount, like an hour 35. So Gucci.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, like any shout outs or anything to mention?
Shout outs.
Any
I don't know.
topics to
I never
discuss?
did everything I wanted to. I guess. I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm fine to end it there.
Hmm.
Give anything.
I don't know. One thing I want to
Shout
make
outs
a.
to
Sorry. Oh, what were you saying? Oh, you're doing the thing again, but I'm assuming you could sing shout outs to Shuffle, which
that's what I'm saying. Shout outs to Shuffle.
yeah, I agree. One thing I did want to say was that I want to make a good video explaining the concept of dead body snaps, because I think they're a really important part that nobody actually uses, and I think they're a really cool mechanic.
Yeah, that's
Um,
a good point.
I kind of did some preliminary. I mean, I did some like extensive, fairly extensive labbing this morning about it, and I don't know if you're interested in hearing the results now instead of in the video, but it's a pretty cool
I
thing.
think. Why are you trying to plug your own shit in my podcast, man? What's that about?
He got me. He got me. I don't know. It's gonna be a cool thing. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'll definitely watch it.
Sweet. Um, Other than that, shout outs to the community. Shout outs to everybody who's doing everything. Shout outs to CJ for running the ram bets in Shuffled's stead. Shout outs to Cobalt for running the new bets. Shout outs to everybody who enters both of those, or either of them. Shout outs to Risky for trying to enter new bets and then not entering new bets. Shout outs to Risky for getting destroyed in bracket by random noobs. Um, Shout outs to Age for picking a different team every week. Shout outs to Mal for losing to me every week. That's all Gucci. I don't know. Shout outs to you for losing to me last week. That was cool. Thanks for letting me have it. I beat you in a first to six. I don't know what to give you. First to six basically is good.
Wait, what was the score of grand finals? It was like the first set was
First set was
2-3.
3-2. It was 3-2, 3-1. In winners
Yeah, you
finals,
did
you beat me
obviously have.
3-2. So
I mean, the game count was. It
I
was
beat
still you favored game count.
Yeah, I beat you in a first to eight, so you can enjoy that.
Yeah, okay. Uh,
But other than that, I guess shout outs to CM for not leaving as early. Damn, I really can't think of any like good outros or anything. But thanks everybody for watching. Oh, you're still like doing the cutout thing, by the way.
okay. Shout outs to Beat Extend.
Yeah. Shout outs to BXN. Shout outs to BXN for carrying everybody in OCE, except for the people it doesn't, which is
Yeah.
age, I guess at this point.
I started using Beat Extend again recently.
Oh yeah, because he played like what character is he? Yeah, I think he played like Bella Band with BXN. I think he was playing medium, but he played light like one
Against
game.
me
He was playing
in last
BXN
round
against you?
bats. Yeah, yesterday he played Philia Bella Band, and you've had Beat Extend.
Oh, okay. I thought the matches I saw he was playing Brass, but I don't know.
Brass against Mao. He was playing
Oh
Beat
yeah,
Extend against
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. Brass is pretty good against Mao. Brass is so good. Brass is
Yeah,
pretty good.
I tried playing Brass against him like while he was here, and
Right.
I ultimately switched back just because I felt like so much, and Big Ben just lost all his life,
Yeah.
and I felt like obviously you could be more smart with it, but I felt like I just want to use Big Extend.
I think BXN is fine because you can still use that as meat shield and just gain charge, and especially gaining charge against Peacock is so good to where you can just you can use that as your primary strategy. I also found cool things against M item. I'm gonna say that was really neat. So with every single character, you can call beat extend, and then you can just crouch, and M item will never hit your character. So that's neat. I didn't test it in Big Band with Big Band assist, obviously.
3 M item,
Sorry.
M item included.
Level 3 can hit some characters. Uh, it cannot hit anybody crouching. I don't know about Road Roller to be certain, because I think Road Roller just ignores assists and it just hits you anyway. But every other assist does not hit you crouching. They like every other level 3 item will not hit you crouching. I guess like I don't know Tenreha maybe it does. But point
Yeah.
is, as soon as you call beat extend, like if you get to M item dropping range, if you call beat extend and you just crouch under it, you're completely okay. Nothing will happen to you. Other than maybe you getting grabbed. But
Yeah.
but if you get grabbed, that's you Gucci against Peacock. But yeah, shout out to
Although
everyone. Sorry.
Peacock has some kind of grab conversion, like with August. Or
Yeah.
doesn't
If you have M item, it doesn't really work because especially since Big Band, uh, because the M item conversion doesn't really work mid screen consistently. I guess like maybe outside of some assists or something. I don't know. She has it in the corner, which is pretty good. But if you're stuck in the corner with this item coming towards you, you just lost the game.
Yeah, no, that should not happen.
Yeah, should be the other way around. You have her in the corner, and you have your item. But uh, shoutouts to chicken block punishes that people don't do. Shoutouts to push blocks in the air that people don't punish. Shoutouts to push block falling buttons that people get hit by, myself included at times.
Yeah, you're right.
But
That's
yeah,
something I'm always afraid to like not push block things. I always want to push block it.
why
Like,
not?
otherwise,
Just don't push block. You'll be fine.
it's gonna be fine if they like you land and then you just get mixed up.
Nah, it's if you just land and just hit a button. As soon as you land, you don't have any blocks done.
I understand, but it's like
Just land, just hit a
just
button, homie. Just hit that light
I'm
punch.
scared, you know. I'm scared.
Don't be scared. If you know scared,
Yeah,
then
you're
I
right.
know
No,
scared.
that's actually something I was thinking about practicing was just like doing just land cancel SSJ because it's something I never do, but I really should.
Yeah, land cancel like chicken block parry stuff like that is really actually incredibly good. I think the parry usage is actually the best one.
That's a good point. But
because
just like
it's
doing anything, I guess. Because I always try to like land cancel jab, and it's just really shit.
yeah. I mean, it depends on the situation. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really
But
bad.
yes, sometimes it works, but more often it's not going to.
Yeah. Like that's the thing with chicken block punishes is that they're incredibly situational, and it's really hard to lab against them other than specific situations like, oh, double jumping heavy punch is just idiotic. You can't really chicken block punish it because she's always like -2 at worst.
Yeah.
But like other than that, they're actually like really good, and like I think once you get used to them, like I can just tell if there's something that's gonna be a land cancel or chicken block punish or not, or like chicken block possibly punished with specific situations or like uppercuts and whatnot. But that's why like
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I feel like always doing one thing over the other is really bad because people should experiment and mix up the defensive options,
Right.
especially against other people who are bad at reacting to push block versus not, like me. Like I'm really bad at it. And you're doing the cutout thing again?
I'm not really saying anything. I'm just saying yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet. But yeah. We extended this for kind of a long time, so it's pretty cool. And I really can't think of anything else right now. It's cool. Shout outs to you for coming onto the podcast.
No problem, my man.
Um, I don't know if we'll have one quickly next time because next week is pretty destroyed for me. We'll have family guests over from Tuesday, and they're going to be here till the next Tuesday. And I want to get a podcast between that next Tuesday and Mao's birthday because it would be cool to have that.
Uh-huh.
With him on it, obviously. But um, and other than that, I can't think of anything else. I'd like to get a episode out by then. After that, maybe we'll try to get Age or Shuffle, whichever one can happen earlier. Um, that'd be neat. After that, I don't know who to get. Maybe I'll get Dime. I don't want to.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Um, I don't know because Dime is just like old man, like extreme. If I get him to talk
Yeah.
about Skullgirls, he'll probably just be like, "This game is garbage," which his opinion. And then it's just like it's not gonna be any fruitful conversation, and it's gonna be me trying to deal with his riddles and him going, "Hey Yoma, you should use jumping heavy punch a lot," and I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Just use it." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Use it." I'm like, "Why?" He's just use it, and it's like, "All right, I get the point."
That sounds kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's slightly annoying.
Noise. Oops.
Sorry, what was that?
I said you can bring on like busy or anything.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I can get a. I want to see who graduates first out of them. Then I'll get that guy.
Cool.
Or maybe I'll do a joint and like have both of them on. It'll be neat.
So that's an idea.
And then I can talk over both of them instead of just talking over one person. That'd be tight.
Talk over me that much. I was like mostly talking a lot, I guess.
But yeah. Anyway, I've extended this kind of a long time. It's just been rambling. But thanks everybody
Shut
for
up and turn the
watching.
stream off.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being on the podcast, Jedi. Thanks everybody who still
Are
plays
you just
Skullgirls.
recording?
Sorry, no, I'm just recording. I'm not streaming.
Okay, alright.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, and hopefully I'll catch you guys quickly in the next episode. Cheers.